A hilarious cooking battle ensues when a small-time street chef clashes with a renowned foreign chef. The funny thing is, despite being a famous international chef, no one can match the street chef's culinary skills. As this cooking rivalry unfolds, the story takes an unexpected twist that changes everything. We're talking about the amazing Chinese movie, Cook Up a Storm. So let's begin. At the start of the movie, we see Gao, a street chef famous for his incredibly tasty food. People come from far and wide to eat his dishes. He owns a small restaurant where crowds gather daily, waiting in long lines just to taste his cooking. Gao maintains exceptional cleanliness in his restaurant and loves his profession deeply. However, he is always saddened by thoughts of his past. When he was very young, his father left him with a chef to learn how to cook properly, and he never received his father's love growing up. Because of this, he harbors a deep resentment towards his father. One day, when Gao was little, his father asked him to make noodles, but Gao couldn't. His father told him, "You're so big, and you can't even make simple noodles. You'll never become a great chef." From that day on, Gao vowed to become a world-renowned master chef. On the other hand, we are introduced to Mr. Ko, Gao's father. He is a very famous master chef, known for his extraordinary and unique dishes. He is considered the god of chefs in China. But despite his fame, Mr. Ko has never publicly acknowledged having a son, which is the main reason for Gao's hatred towards him. One day, some media people come to Gao's restaurant to do a food review. When they try to cut in line to taste the food, Gao stops them, saying, "All customers are equal to me. If you want to taste the food, you have to wait in line like everyone else." Just then, a man walks into the restaurant without waiting in line to eat. Gao tells him to queue up. The man gets angry and threatens him, saying, "I can shut down your restaurant in no time if I want, and I can kick you out of here whenever I feel like it." Hearing this, Gao gets furious and throws him out of his restaurant. Meanwhile, we see Paul, a handsome and famous chef. He is a great chef whose food is exceptionally delicious. He used to cook for various royal families in France. There, we also see Paul's girlfriend, Mayo, who is his assistant chef. Paul is so renowned in France that the owner of a large company offers him the position of head chef in his hotel. However, Paul rejects their offer because he wants to return to his own country and open his own restaurant. In the next scene, Paul is back in his country. He goes to a market to buy fish and asks the shopkeeper for the biggest fish in the shop. The shopkeeper tells him that he doesn't have any large fish. But moments later, Gao comes to the shop and asks the shopkeeper for fish. The shopkeeper then takes out the biggest fish in the shop and gives it to Gao. Seeing this, Paul gets very angry with the shopkeeper and says, "You just said you didn't have any fish." Actually, Gao was a regular customer of the shopkeeper, so he had hidden the biggest fish for Gao. When the shopkeeper is about to give the fish to Gao, Paul stops him. The shopkeeper then cuts the big fish into two halves and gives one half to each of them. Afterward, Paul is seen opening his own restaurant. He holds a grand opening ceremony. Seeing the lavish opening, all the customers start going to his restaurant. The interior decoration of his restaurant is very beautiful and VIP-like. But the problem is that he has opened his restaurant right in front of Gao's restaurant. When Gao's friends see all the customers going towards Paul's restaurant, they announce a 50% discount on all dishes in their restaurant. Hearing this news, all the customers rush into Gao's restaurant. Just then, some people from Paul's restaurant come and start arguing with Gao's friends. At that moment, both Paul and Gao arrive there. Seeing them both, the people around say, "Let's see whose restaurant is better right here. Let's have a competition between the chefs of your two restaurants." Then, their competition begins right there in the street. First, Paul takes a fish and, with great uniqueness and style, cuts it, removing every single bone. After removing the bones, he throws the fish towards Gao. Gao catches the fish skillfully and quickly cuts it into small pieces, completely separating the skin. Seeing their amazing skills, the onlookers are very happy and applaud. Then, a main guest from Paul's restaurant who is present there tells them that an international cooking competition will be held in a few days, and if they want, they can participate. This will not only give them international recognition, but also bring honor to the country. It will also prove who among them is truly the best. Next, Paul is seen giving an interview on a TV show because he was already a minor celebrity chef. In the interview, he says that most people in their country cook in old-fashioned styles, and he mainly wants to teach them modern cooking. On the other side, Gao is in his restaurant, listening to Paul's entire interview. Hearing those words, he realizes that Paul is actually directing those comments at him. The next day, Paul's girlfriend comes to Gao's restaurant and invites him to have dinner at Paul's restaurant. Paul accepts their invitation and goes to their restaurant with his girlfriend. There, they serve Gao and his girlfriend two different kinds of dishes, which are very unique and incredibly tasty. Then, Paul's girlfriend Mayo tells them that this dish is Paul's most famous dish, and he has won many awards for it. Hearing this, Gao goes to Paul's kitchen and says to him, "By feeding me your most famous and unique dish, what are you trying to prove? That you are a much better chef than me? Is that why you invited me to your restaurant?" Without answering any of his questions, Paul tells him, "Since you're already in my kitchen, let's have a little competition." Gao accepts his challenge, and they both start making a chicken dish. Gao starts cooking in his own style, but Paul in a very short time makes a beautiful chicken dish and hands it to Gao. Gao looks at Paul's dish and realizes that the taste of Paul's dish is exactly like his own. But Paul made the dish in much less time, and then he understands that Paul is indeed a much better chef than him. After that, without saying anything, he leaves sadly. After Gao leaves, Paul tastes the food made by Gao and realizes that Gao's dish was also very tasty, just like his own. Next, Gao is seen sitting sadly, thinking about the old words his father had said to him, "You will never become a great chef." Just then, a man named Hong calls Gao. Hong is a friend of Gao's father, the one with whom his father left Gao when he was a child. Gao goes there and is very surprised to see his father. Actually, his father had asked Hong to call Gao. When Gao's father, Mr. Ko, tries to say something to Gao, Gao stops him before he can speak and says, "I don't need to hear anything you have to say. You don't have a son, and I am not your son. Isn't that what you always tell everyone in the media?" Then Mr. Ko says, "Look at me. I have won the world's best chef award twice, and you are still a chef in a small restaurant. I want you to prove yourself, to stand on your own feet." Gao gets very angry and tells Mr. Ko, "To be a successful person, you don't have to be cruel like you. If I become successful, I will never be cruel and arrogant like you." Saying this, Gao leaves. The next day, the international cooking competition begins. Both Paul and Gao are participating. Paul and Gao both cook in their own styles, but Paul cooks in a very modern way, and he finishes his dish much earlier than Gao. His dish looks beautiful and tastes amazing. He presents his dish to the judges before the allotted time, but Gao cooks in the old style, which takes him the entire time. Then the judges taste both their dishes, and both are equally delicious. When it's time for the results, they both receive the same score. But since Paul finished his dish before the deadline, he is declared the winner of the competition. After losing the competition, Gao becomes very disheartened. He leaves sadly and then stops all his work, spending the whole day playing video games in his room. One day, Hong comes to visit him and plays video games with him. Gao wins the game. Then Hong tells Gao that losing some competitions doesn't mean he has lost everything. Sometimes people win even after losing. Hong tells Gao that he had nothing at one point, but he worked hard and built his own restaurant. From their conversation, it's understood that the restaurant where Gao works actually belongs to Mr. Hong. Then Hong encourages him to start over. On the other hand, Paul is celebrating his victory in the cooking competition with his friends. But after some time, Paul's girlfriend says something that completely shatters him emotionally. In the next round of the cooking competition, Mayo will be presented as the main chef, and Paul will be her assistant chef. Then Mayo brings 2 cups of coffee and asks Paul to taste them and tell her which cup has more salt. Paul then realizes that Mayo is asking him this question in front of everyone to reveal his secret. Because even though Paul can make tasty food, he can never actually taste and check the seasoning. Then Mayo takes all the recipes for Paul's dishes into a diary and tells him, "What did you think? That I stayed with you all this time because I loved you? I was with you all this time to learn all your recipes." And then Paul's friend tells him that Mayo is actually his girlfriend. Paul then understands that everyone has been deceiving him all this time. Paul gets upset and leaves. He goes and sits by the roadside drinking. Just then Gao passes by. Seeing him, Gao comes to him and asks, "Did I lose the competition or did you?" "I lost the competition, but why are you so sad?" Paul then tells Gao everything and reveals his secret, that he can cook well, but he can never taste the food to check it. Paul then tells Gao, "Do you see that poster? He is my inspiration. I want to become a great chef like him." And the photo on the poster is of Mr. Ko, Gao's father. Then Gao laughs and tells Paul, "You want to be like him? He is a very bad person, and he is my father." At first, Paul doesn't believe Gao, but when Gao tells him everything, Paul believes him. They both grab glass bottles and run towards the poster to vent their frustration, and it is here that a very good friendship develops between them. Next, Paul's business partners go to Gao's restaurant and buy it, threatening them to vacate the restaurant because they will soon demolish it to build a building there. Just then, Gao and Paul arrive. Paul sees his partner and says, "For the next round of the competition, I have found my partner, and it's Gao." Hearing this, his business partner says, "If you don't do as we say, we will ruin your career." Paul gets very angry and headbutts him, breaking his nose. After they all leave, Hong asks Paul why he wants to take Gao with him. Paul says that Gao deserves it, because he is a great chef. Then they both start preparing for the competition. They help each other cook. Gao shows Paul his own recipes, and he also teaches Paul how to taste and check the food. Next, the international cooking competition begins. Paul and Gao are partners. Paul's ex-girlfriend, Mayo, is also participating in the competition. Everyone starts cooking in their own style. Everyone presents their dishes to the judges. Paul and Gao had prepared a sweet dish that the judges liked very much, and Paul and Gao were the winners of this round. After this round, the final round will be held in a few days, and the competition in that round will be with the famous chef Mr. Ko, i.e. Gao's father. No one will participate as a partner in the final round because it will be a single-person competition. So Paul tells Gao to participate in the final round. Then Gao tells Paul, "You are a much better chef than me. You can cook modern food very well. So I think you should go to the final round." Then Paul tells Gao, "Look, my dream was to open a restaurant, and I have been able to do that. And since childhood, your dream has been to win a big competition and show it to your father. So I think you need to go to this competition because this is your chance to prove yourself in front of your father." Hearing Paul's words, Gao agrees. Next, Gao goes to the final round. There, Gao's father, Mr. Ko, is cooking. But Gao doesn't cook anything. He just stands there quietly, thinking about something. He starts thinking about his childhood, when his father left him, how lonely he felt, and how the other children used to laugh at him and tease him. He missed his father a lot. He keeps standing there, lost in his thoughts. Just then, his father throws a glass of water on his face and tells him, "Don't just stand there, start your work, because I want to see what you have learned all these years." Then Gao starts cooking with concentration. On the other hand, his father, Mr. Ko, is also making a dish. After some time, he finishes his dish. Mr. Ko makes a sweet dish that looks very unique and tastes extremely delicious. The judges like the dish very much. And here, Gao doesn't present his dish to the judges. Instead, he gives it to his father to taste. He has made noodles, the same noodles that he couldn't make as a child, despite trying hard, for which his father used to get very angry with him and scold him. Then he hands the bowl of noodles to his father and starts to leave. While leaving, his father says to him, "I have never eaten such tasty noodles in my life." Hearing this, Gao smiles and leaves. Actually, Gao didn't come to win this competition. He came to prove himself in front of his father. After Gao leaves, his father keeps eating those noodles like crazy. While eating the noodles, he becomes emotional. Seeing Mr. Kotol eating the noodles so emotionally, the audience and the judges realize that Gao is Mr. Kotol's son. Also, their last names were the same, and their behavior had already made the audience understand. In the next scene, Paul and Gao are running a restaurant together. Many people have come to eat at their restaurant. The two friends are happily serving food to the customers. And this is where the movie ends. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel.